It's fair to say, statistically speaking, that America is the leading destination for education. Right now, nearly 1 million students from over 200 countries are here in the United States attending our universities. This is the highest number in over 3 decades. Maybe this happened because we spend more on each student, easily double or triple that of other countries. Maybe it's because we have the largest population of full-time, well-educated professors. But maybe there's another reason. See, these students who are sent here to get a world-class education will take their degrees and whatever they've learned about American culture and American life back home with them. And half of these kids will ultimately become world leaders of some kind. Presidents, secretary generals, prime ministers, even a king or two will probably be in the mix. Overwhelmingly, the largest group of students that come to us are from communist China. But there are also young people from places like Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Nepal, Bangladesh, even Afghanistan. And keep in mind, they're coming to the United States for school, but they're also very interested in culture and our lifestyle. And yet 70% of all international students will attend a university here for 4 years and never even step foot in an American home. And so this is a great opportunity where Christians can show the love of Jesus in a very tangible way by adopting, by intentionally connecting with these students from other countries and helping them with things like their English, or maybe giving them a taste of your infamous Thanksgiving dinner, or taking them to a Little League game. Greg Swinney from Crossroads International has connected international students to what he calls these friendship families for a number of years. And he, along with several international students and their American families, want to take a minute just to help you see what it's like to become an international family.
Newspapers like the Wall Street Journal and magazines like U.S. News and World Report are splashing headlines that tell us international student enrollment is at the highest rate in the past 35 years. We're seeing more and more students on our campuses than ever before, and the growth rate is phenomenal. New York University alone records an 18% increase in international student enrollment just in this past year. It really is convincing to us all that the Lord is rearranging the cultures of the world, and He's bringing them to the American college campus.
I came to America when I was 17 years old. I came directly to Crowder College. I've never heard of Missouri before, to be very honest. You hear about New York, you hear about Texas, you hear about California, but you don't actually hear about places like Missouri or Neosho, Missouri. So Crowder was cheap and it was the best option.
I came to USA to study the real English because the United States is the official language is English. So I want to master the real English, so I chose this place.
Well, I came here after my brother. My brother came first, and I'm trying to learn English. English is really important in Brazil, so that is why I decided to study over here.
I asked a student from China if he could describe the American university, and he said, it's the roads it's where all of the roads come together. It's the intersection of our culture. And I said, it's the crossroads of the world today. And he said, that's exactly what it is. Some of the world's brightest and best are coming to our American college campuses today for an education. Some are here to learn English. Many of them are here to experience a new culture and make an American friend.
Yes, I used to think wherever I want to go, as long as the person who speaks English, but there is a lot of benefit for me, America, because the American culture and American food is very good for me, and I really wanted to eat American real food or something like that.
Reason is my uncle, he studied here, graduated in the 80s. So he always tell me about his experience here and education and how good was it. So that was the first thing. And back in 2006, I also came here to Boston for a visit. And I was fascinated by it, like everything there. and also like, you know, being in like a big country that's the States, and like the movies and the stuff, so, and you see everything about it, read everything on the news, everything, so that's also like motivated me to come here to study.
If history repeats itself, and we have every reason to believe it will, 50% of the world's future presidents are on American college campuses today. The U.S. Department of Education, they've reported that future world leaders like prime ministers, people in education, those in medicine and politics are all on our American campuses today. Hundreds and hundreds of world leaders are within minutes of our living rooms right now. Maybe you have traveled internationally. You remember all of those sights and sounds of an unusual place, even the unusual smells. I had international students, when they arrive in our country, everything is new. American life is so fast-paced and it's so hectic, and they're trying to learn new things and make new friends, and the culture is mind-boggling to them. Every international student will go through a phase of culture shock. One student told me, "The food in the United States is so big." Another one said, "I can smell the cattle ranch, but it's many kilometers away." Another international student asked why she couldn't negotiate the prices of the vegetables at the grocery store. Everything is new for them. The traffic, the language, the classes, all of these things cause international students to go through culture shock.
The first one, I had no clue when people said, "You just knocked my socks off." I said, "What? What did you say?" Or people say, "Let's play it by ear." I said, "I don't understand." Or, yeah, there's just so many slangs, I don't know. But now I know, and I think it's really funny.
Honestly, to think about that right now, I wasn't thinking about anything, but I thought, oh, America would be like I see it on TV, you know, skyscrapers, convertible cars. And I came to Neosho, Missouri, where you have the cows and the chickens. So it was a bit of a cultural shock.
Yeah, that was just the time was kind of hard, because in Brazil we always have like 15 minutes more. Like we have like a little bit different times. Like if somebody invites you to come over like at 7 o'clock, you can expect that the people will come, will arrive in your house like at 8 in Brazil. But over here, is really stretched the time. If they call you to arrive at 7, you must be at 7.
One of the hardest things that was hard for me to adjust to in America was, I would say, the food. Because, I mean, I grew up eating rice and beans and yams, and I go to Walmart and they don't even have it. And then I remember also standing in Walmart for like 2 hours looking at green beans, and I'm like, how do you know which one to choose? Like, there's just so many options. See, in my country, we don't have that. And that was a very, very hard thing adjusting to. Also, the currency, like the exchange rate. You know, I go to a store and they tell me something is $30. And I'm thinking, okay, so in Naira, that would be like 20,000 Naira? No, why would I want to buy that? So that was hard. It was hard adjusting to that.
These international students are adventurous, they're outgoing, and they are eager to meet an American friend. And for the most part, they're very lonely. They're away from their families. They're away from home. They're in a new culture that is so different and foreign to anything they're used to. It's different traffic, it's different money, the schedule is different. Americans are always in a hurry, we're always in a rush. One international student said, America is the only nation in the world that has a national monument called Rushmore. And when international students encounter that new kind of culture, they feel so alone.
I remember one time, in winter time, I couldn't see anyone that get out from the house. And then I thought to myself, oh, maybe I should ask someone, where are all people? And then my friend told me that, oh, it's winter time, it's cold, people just stay inside the house. And then I waited until like springtime and summertime, and I didn't see anyone get out from the house. And then I realized that, oh, they are more like home people, they're more like private people. And then I just felt depressed because I couldn't find anyone I can talk to. in my country, you know, people walk everywhere and then you say hi, you go and visit to your neighbor, but I couldn't do that at the time, and it was very hard for me.
Pronunciation is very hard, and when I came USA, it's very hard for me to speak English and explain my feeling perfectly because language is very hard, and I often think what should I to improve my English skills or how to communicate fluently.
I definitely miss my family, miss my friends back home, and when some holidays and some anniversaries about my family members, that I feel really alone to be here.
Hospitality is built into most cultures, and if you're a visitor in any country, you expect hospitality from the people there. One of the things that broke our hearts was a Nigerian student who had gotten his PhD at the University of Nebraska. And I said, well, how was your experience here? He said, the thing that I'm sad about is that I was never in an American home in 5 years. And he said, in my country, that would never happen.
Many international students feel like no one understands what they're going through. Think about it. When they arrive, all of their possessions are carried in a suitcase. They have no blankets for their bed. They have no medicine when they are sick. They have no car to get from here to there. International students feel more alone than ever. I remember one student from China telling me on a campus that was tens of thousands of students, the student told me, I never felt more alone than when I came to the United States. Research tells us that 70% of these international students will never be inside an American home, and 70% of them did not have a single American friend. It's really obvious to us that God is bringing the nations right to our doorstep, right to our living rooms, right to our kitchen tables. Jesus told a parable about mustard seeds. He talked about how something so small and so insignificant can grow to be so impressive. The largest plant in the garden, he said. This is a bowl of 1 million mustard seeds. A young Korean came to my house one night, and he's an engineering student, and I said, let's calculate what 1 million mustard seeds would look like. And he weighed and added, and he said, I think we're very close. This is what 1 million mustard seeds look like. And when you begin to think that these mustard seeds can be representative of the 1 million international students that are on our campuses right now, that may seem so small and insignificant, maybe even forgotten, but can make such a huge difference in influencing the world, we begin to get the idea how much difference one life can make in the hands of the Lord.